What's up, guys? We're back finally for another episode of the Big Cat Chat podcast. I don't even remember what episode number it is anymore. We've been gone for months. We missed most of the regular season. It is what it is. He had a kid, I had college, and then when we were going to return for the playoffs, his voice went out the back door. It's still not here. I mean, you guys could listen to him. How you doing, Sean?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's getting better, but it's not fully back. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, he'll get there eventually. Hopefully, for next week's episode, he'll be back to tip top shape, but we'll see. Nonetheless, we are back. Hopefully, going to be back most weeks. Can't guarantee every week, but that's the goal. It's draft season coming up. That's our favorite season. That might change though with how the Jags are looking right now. But yeah, let's go ahead, just get straight into it. First, we'll talk about the playoff games. Let me pull up NFL playoffs and we'll just go game by game and talk about it quickly. So we got the wild card round. First game was Seahawks 49ers. 49ers blew the Seahawks out as we expected. They didn't belong there. We'll leave the Jags game, wild card game, for last. Dolphins Bills. Dolphins with a third string quarterback only lost by 3. The Bills had a rough playoffs this year.
Yeah, they did. They're lucky that Tua was hurt because Tua probably beats them.
Yeah, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater might beat him, to be quite
Yeah.
honest. Giants, Vikings. Giants upset the Vikings. That was the first upset of the playoffs. I mean, a lot of people predicted it.
Was it an upset though?
Exactly. I predicted it. A lot of people predicted it. The Vikings were kind of frauds the whole way, and they kind of got beat. This was the game of my top 2 head coaching candidates last year, Brian Daboll and Kevin O'Connell. And my number 1 candidate, O'Connell, lost. Daboll was my number 2, but happens. Ravens Bengals. Again, the Bengals almost got upset. If the Ravens had Lamar, they probably win.
Yep.
If they don't if Tyler Huntley sneaks the ball under instead of over, they probably win that game. That was the luckiest play I've ever seen.
Yep.
It wasn't even just a fumble. It was a fumble that happened to pop right into the defender's hands to run the whole way. Like if it was just a fumble and they picked it up, they'd be at like the 2-yard line and
it was Sam Hubbard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Cincinnati kid, Sam Hubbard. Yep. Unbelievable. I was hoping the Dolphins and Ravens would win so we could have another home game, but
not
so
to be.
Close. So close. Cowboys, Buccaneers. This was one that a lot of people predicted, including myself, thought the Buccaneers were going to do their thing at least 1 week and upset the Cowboys. That did not happen. The Cowboys won 31-14. The Buccaneers looked horrible. Byron Leftwich got fired, as many of us were not surprised to see. A lot of people wanted him as the Jags head coach last year. I did not. You did not. But it was a common theme with Jags fans, is they wanted him. I never felt he was going to be a good candidate, and
I accepted it towards the end when I thought it was gonna happen. I was like, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But
I had the I guess I'll deal with it.
yeah, we lucked out.
We lucked into that so bad because all the rumors were that we were going to hire him, but Bulky saved us, and Bulky we trust. And
Thank God.
We trust.
Thank God for Bulky.
That Bulky is our hero at this point. I can't believe that though. We were so close to hire. What I never understood is why Jags fans wanted him so bad, because
he's a Jaguar.
Exactly, and they credited he did he call plays? I think he called plays for Tampa, but Bruce Arians still had a heavy influence on it. Tom Brady had a heavy influence on it, and plus, let's talk about the fact that they always abandon the run, and Buccaneers fans were begging us to hire him. Like, I get you don't always take word of fans because fans are more emotional, but sometimes when you have an entire fan base begging you to hire their coach, I think that's something you want to take note of. But we got lucky. Byron Leftwich got fired. Tom Brady's going to go somewhere else. Todd Bowles did not get fired. They fired a ton of other people, though. Kyle Trask season is all I got to say.
We'll see.
We'll go on to the last wild card game, which was not the last wild card game. It was the second one, actually. It was the Jaguars game. I was there. Sean was. This is where Sean lost his voice. You
Yep.
left, right?
Halftime.
He
We
left
walked.
at
We walked out.
halftime.
We walked
They
out. Yeah.
they walked out at halftime.
We watched it. We watched it from the parking lot.
Unbelievable. I remember.
Dude, I was fucking gone, bro. I was so toasted slash voice was wrecked.
I mean, since we're Jags fans, we'll talk about the whole day. So you guys got out to the tailgate at 1. You guys were there when it
Two
started,
o'clock.
right? Two
2 o'clock.
o'clock. Okay. And then we got out there by
Like
we. I
four,
mean,
four something.
yeah, it was like late 3 or 4 for my roommate and I. Tailgate was awesome. I mean, I'm probably not gonna. I've done my fair share of tailgating. I went to tailgate for the Titans game. I went to. We'll talk about the Titans game later as well. But we went to. Our tailgate was fun, but I don't think I'm going to do that every game from now on, just because it's exhausting.
I got no. I haven't drank since.
Ex- yeah, you went crazy. You got how many times did the spin the Costa land on you?
I did this in the cost, I think 4 times total.
And you got it 50%.
What do you mean?
Like it landed on you 2 out of the 4 times, or is that how many
No,
times you drank?
I did it. They landed on me 4 times.
Oh damn,
I did
damn.
it like I sat at the table 4 times and it landed on me all 4 times.
Oh, so you have 100% hit rate.
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, I
And
mean
also I drank like 8 beers. I didn't eat anything. That was my problem. My problem was I didn't eat nothing.
that's an. I'll talk about my Titans game experience, but I made sure because before the game I went with my family or a fair share of my family and my roommate. We went to Zaxby's. I made sure to eat a unbelievable amount of food, and then Johnny had Winn Dixie fried chicken at the game, and I went to get one. I got there not at the game, but at the tailgate. I got there hours after he did. I went to grab one. I grabbed one and I started eating it, and I was like, "This shit is cold as fuck." I was like, "I'm not getting another piece, but I will
Yeah,
finish this."
it's been sitting out there for hours and it was like how was it like 40 something degrees, 40
I,
degrees?
I should have asked somebody. You know how so many people had grills there? I should have asked someone to put the fucking piece of chicken on the grill.
Unreal.
But the tailgate was fun. You guys saw, I believe, I did not vlog the Chargers game, but the game started. It did. Trevor's first pass was intercepted. It was tipped, intercepted. Watching interceptions in real life is so much more demoralizing than watching them on TV. Just seeing the ball and then just seeing him dive and catch it, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Then they scored. Then we got the ball back. Did Trevor throw another interception on the ensuing drive? Because I knew he threw 4 in the
I
first
don't know. He
half.
threw like 4 in a row, man. It was crazy.
Every time, and the refs were so bad. There were so many missed pass interferences. The second interception, he ripped Zay. Zay stopped his route completely because he got clearly ripped, and so that allowed Asante Samuel Jr. to just have a free run at the football.
Right.
No flag. It felt like every time they didn't call it, they missed a clear PI. Trevor decided to throw an interception the next play. It's like he said, "Fuck it. If the refs
Yeah.
are gonna fuck us, I'll fuck us too."
Yeah.
He looked terrible. I mean, 3 of the interceptions weren't even his fault, to be quite honest. One of them was tipped. That was the first one. The second one was an PI. The third one was terrible. That one was his fault. That was when Evan Ingram was running his classic crosser, short crosser. He forced it. Asante Samuel just broke down and picked it. That was terrible. Then there
Yeah.
was another one where Ingram had to run an inside dig. They ran a deep inside dig for a tight end is quite an ask, and he faded backwards rather than going straight or forward, and it allowed Asante to get in front of it and pick it. It was bad. Then we scored on the first drive before the half. A lot of people were leaving. Actually, it felt like a lot more people were leaving, but then when at the end of the game, the place was still packed. So
I think a lot of people just went to the
concourse or whatever
yeah.
it's called. That would
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah, one guy behind us said he was going to go take a walk. He took a long walk. We ended up having to move a couple times because our seats were in 2 different spots, and we were just trying to find 2 seats that were next to each other. And
Yeah, I didn't know that once you left the stadium they wouldn't let you back in.
so you guys tried to come back in?
I was going to, but then Johnny was like, they're not gonna let you back in. There's no
Damn.
reentry. So I was like, really? I just wanted to like go out for a breather in the cold air.
And
And
they
then
said,
he
"Fuck
was like,
that."
no, they're not gonna let you back in. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So
Unbelievable.
that was an L on my part, but never again. I'll never leave a game. I don't care if we're down 50 to nothing. with 5 minutes. With 5 minutes left, I'm never leaving.
My roommate kind of like hinted. He was just like, "Would you leave right now?" And I was like, "Nah, I spent way too much damn money to leave this game right now. I will stay here if we lose 65-0, or it was 65-7." But
I did celebrate in the parking lot with like a bunch of other Jags fans that I had walked out to.
Nice.
So,
that's awesome. Yeah, I remember because we were trying to find 2 seats and we did, and then eventually somebody came in there like, "Oh, this is our seat," and I was like, "Okay, whatever." And I looked on an app, on the ticket app, and there was a whole row that was unpurchased. Like I remember texting you saying that, and we went and sat there, and people eventually started filling it because they realized that nobody was sitting there, and then eventually this family, at like almost halftime, or maybe it was halftime, buys the entire row. And they all just come in and they're like, "Oh, you got to go. These are our seats." And I'm like, "You son of a bitch."
They must have bought it on what you call it, Game Time app.
Yeah,
I bet they were dumb cheap.
probably because they literally got to the
Like
seats at
halftime, they're down
halftime.
27-7. The seat's probably like $10, bro.
So eventually, there was this dude named Michael in front of us. There were 2 seats next to him. We were like, "Can we go there?" And he's like, "Sure." Nobody's sitting there. So that's where we are the rest of the game. We scored touch at halftime. I was like, when we scored that touchdown, I was like, "We're coming back." I remember saying in the group chat because Brian was complaining that he wanted to go home. Johnny was saying he was going to convince somebody to like you. You went out of the stadium with Johnny, right?
He went before me and Jake did.
Okay, yeah. He said he was going to try and convince you guys to leave, and I was like, "Fuck y'all. I'm staying through this goddamn game." And then we come out of half, get a stop, we score, and we stop, score. What I got to talk about though is that field goal that they missed.
Yeah.
That was his second miss of the entire year. And it came at a moment that cost them the game.
Yep.
So were you guys watching it on a phone, or did you have like a TV you could see?
It was on Johnny's phone.
Okay. Damn. Everybody watching one little phone?
Yeah, so like, and it was kind of fucked up too, because it was like the last drive, or the final drive for us.
Oh, that final drive.
And we're watching it, right? And it's like 2 plays before the game-winning field goal. And so that play ends, and like the fireworks go off at the stadium.
The ETN play? Oh, because you guys were so far behind.
So we knew. We were like, "No, dude, that." Well, we heard something. We couldn't
You had
see
no
it.
stress.
We couldn't see the fireworks. I'm saying we couldn't see the fireworks, but we heard like. So I was like, either somebody's shooting some shit off, or the stadium's going ham right now. And then the field goal, he kicked it, and I was like, "Yo."
That ETN play is the best play I've ever seen, and I will not be taking.
Did you know that he was supposed to go inside?
I did hear that afterwards, and I was like, it makes no sense to go inside if you're faking the fact that you want them to think it's
designed.
a QB
That's what they said. They said it was designed to go inside. He chose to bounce it out.
That's crazy to me because I thought it was a genius. Like,
I thought for sure they were doing that freaking under center, going to go under center, and they were going to push Trevor over the line. Exactly. That's what I thought they were going to do.
They made everybody in America think that was the play. It
was that same crap that TCU kept doing against Michigan in their playoff game. Exactly. Under center from inches to the 1 yard line. Big dude behind you, push him over.
I was so stressed. I was like sitting there damn near praying that we get this sneak, and I see them snap it to ETN, or not snap to ETN, snap to Trevor. He immediately gives it to ETN, and everybody's in the middle. So his speed, he gets out there. I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? It was the best thing ever. And I don't get why they would draw it up to go up the middle if you're faking them, if you're making them.
I thought he was going to go all the way, dude.
I thought he was too for a second. The way he stayed
in bounds was
fantastic.
I was like, make that one guy miss. Come on, man, please.
I'm kind of glad he didn't, though, because I don't want to get. I doubt they would have scored, but.
Well, I mean, at that point, the Chargers weren't doing anything.
Yeah, exactly. It was just bad, but that play.
The only reason why we gave up so many points is because we kept turning the ball over on our side of the field.
Exactly, and Herbert caught a lot of drift, and it wasn't Herbert's fault completely, but people absolving him of any fault. Like, he missed an open touchdown in the end zone. He had a dropped interception. Darius dropped. I felt like it was the unluckiest first half ever. The punt turnover where it hit Claybrooks. It was such a short punt, and so Claybrooks didn't even think it was going to hit him. He was still running to down it, and the shit just bonks him off the back of the head. I'm like, oh my! It was right in front of us too.
After I saw that, is when like me and Jake looked at each other. We were like,
that's when Eddie, my roommate, I say that for the podcast, is my roommate, but that's that's when Eddie is just like, we staying? And I'm like, yes, we're staying. It was so bad. And then, like I said, the tipped interception was unlucky. Every PI they didn't call. Every time there was a tip pass for Herbert, it went to nowhere. If there was a tip pass for us, it was going to be close to an interception.
Yep.
Herbert was pissing me off where he was looking like sidearm Caswell half the damn game.
Yeah.
He sidearms every pass, and it kept bouncing off his offensive line's head.
Yeah, but long story short, 27-0, we come back and we win the game. I mean, you can't ask for a better
Best game of my
experience, a
life.
better experience than that.
I posted the reaction video, so everybody's probably seen it. But like I said, that Michael guy that was next to us, I've never seen a grown man get so excited like a kid. He was jumping up, like squealing damn near, and like we were all like hugging each other, like celebrating. And it's funny though, he was with his wife. So imagine you're with Amanda or something, and a play would happen. He'd immediately turn to us and celebrate, and she's just like, "I'm right here."
She's probably not a real fan. She's probably just there because he is.
Probably, but it was hilarious how she'd be like, "I'm right here," and you're turning to celebrate with them first.
It's the bros.
He's a real one.
Yep, he's a real one.
But yeah, that's the wild card round. Before we go on the divisional, we'll talk about the Titans game. That Titans game, I thought we were going to win in a blowout because I thought Tennessee looked horrible.
Yeah, you were dumb confident going into that game.
I'm never confident, but that game, I was like, look at the teams on paper, look at how the teams have been performing recently. We are going to blow them the fuck out.
Once they said Josh Dobbs over Malik Willis, I was like, Dobbs can actually throw the ball.
I knew it was going to be better than with Malik Willis, but I was still like, Dobbs didn't even play that good versus Dallas. Was it that not Dallas? I don't even know who he played against.
I think it was Dallas, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was on Thursday night.
Yeah, like, but they also had a long break.
Yeah,
we had a short week, and Dallas's defense is pretty good. So I mean,
yeah, their run defense is incredible. It's so annoying to watch ETN run up the middle for nothing every play.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tennessee
our run defense looked good too.
Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, their run defense is pissing me off.
The Tennessee, they only found success on outside runs or the quick outs in the flat. Like half of Dobbs' passes had to have been in the flat. It was pissing me off.
If it was me, man, I would have been like, I'm loading the box. I'm having 7, 8 guys in the box, and I'm playing man across the board. But we can't cover tight ends, bro.
Oh my! Okoronkwo was beating us, and
Okoronkwo killed us. And then, like I said, in the playoff game, Gerald Everett had 100 yards.
And then we'll talk about Kelsey in a bit, but
so
Kelsey cooked us.
Until we figure out how to cover tight ends, bro, it's just like
we need development from our rookie linebackers. That's I don't know what else to ask for besides that, or get a really good nickel, because some nickels can cover tight ends really well.
I've been a fan of the team for about 23 years, and we've never covered tight ends.
It's so annoying.
So yeah,
it happens, I guess. But the game was so close. I had a feeling because I was sitting with Lucas and I was sitting with Crow or Ethan. They had no faith. Like Ethan had hung it up. He was just like, and I was like, I just have a feeling that this is going to come down to like, we're going to get the ball with one last chance and we're going to go down and score. That's what it's building up to. And then the Dobbs fumble and Josh Allen, my favorite non-Trevor player, put it in the end zone.
I was telling my wife the whole time, I was like, we don't get a defensive touchdown, we're not going to win the game.
Ethan said the same shit. He was like,
our offense is not moving the ball at all. For some reason.
Trevor had a rough game. I mean, he wasn't terrible.
If you want to keep it a band, he had a rough couple last 4 weeks of the season.
Houston
he was good, but he wasn't like he was at the beginning of that 16 win streaks.
Houston was a mid game. Tennessee was a rough game. It wasn't a bad game because he didn't turn the ball over a ton, but it was rough. Then LA Chargers first half
was probably the worst first half he's ever played his whole life.
If you hit the Chargers game down the half,
worst game and his best game.
Exactly, of his career. And then that second half, we'll talk about it more when we get to Kansas City, but he played damn good in that Kansas City game too. It's just unfortunate, but
he had a lot of mistakes that weren't his fault.
Yeah, Rayshon, what a year. Remember when we were the two? Everybody thought Rayshon was overpaid, which
I I said he was my favorite signing in that class.
We both were big fans. We both thought he was going to be a big player for us, and then he looked horrible during Urban Meyer. And this year, he wasn't elite, but he made so many more plays this year. Instead of
I will say during the back half of the season, he was playing at an All-Pro caliber. He was a little bit off in the first half season, especially during that 5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
But after that, dude, he was playing out of his mind. He's still not the best in coverage, but
and he needs to work on not missing a bunch of tackles. He was second in the league in missed tackles, but he made enough plays for me to consider him a good player.
He made a lot of tackles though, and that's like it's like good and bad because like you really don't want your safety making a lot of tackles because that means
they always have him in the box blitzing.
Yeah.
The safety blitzes were arguably my favorite defensive play we called.
He looks good coming off the edge.
That Jets game where Cisco literally killed Wilson on that safety blitz, and then the safety blitz.
All of our safeties look good blitzing. Like Winger looks good blitzing too.
I know, it's crazy to think. Remember when we thought safety was a weakness, and now it's arguably one of our best positions.
We got three guys.
We got three guys. And hopefully depends on what you're going to list. I list Brian Branch as a safety / nickel cornerback, but I don't even know if he'll be there for us. But
also, Wingard might not be here next year either. So
they got to re-sign Wingard. He wants to be here. He's not going to command that much, right?
I wouldn't. It depends on if somebody watched the tape and thinks that he can start somewhere.
Maybe. I hope he comes back because
I got too. He seems to love the team. He doesn't seem to be a guy who cares about money like that.
Oh, it was always the Jags.
Nice.
Let's go. The fact that he created that quote and became a fan favorite after everybody wanted him off the team, we never wavered.
And now he's going to go be a Houston Texan.
Oh my! No, don't remind me of our Madden franchise where I ran 100 crossers in a row and you finally started using Wingard and picked me every single time.
Yeah. After you traded him to me.
Yeah, so I could get John Grenard.
Yeah.
And then he ended up making Wingard damn near defensive player of the year just from my games.
Yep.
It was fun.
Anyway, we gotta get back. We gotta get back on Madden, but that's besides the point.
For real. But yeah, the Tennessee game was incredible. The fact that I was at the Tennessee and Chargers game, the best 2 games of my life back to back. It's so nice hearing the bank as loud as it was again.
Yeah, it's times like that I wish I lived in Jacksonville, but dude, I would never probably tailgate again unless I go with my wife and she wants to tailgate.
And
not that it's not fun. It's probably the most fun I've ever had in my life. But dude, I cannot do that. I'm getting too old for that, dude.
And then also, if it's not a night game, you have to tailgate so early, and I like having the evening tailgate.
Yeah.
Next year's gonna be fun though. I think we're planning on everybody getting even Mason coming for a game at some point next year.
The only game I'm going to next year, if I don't go to Jacksonville, will be at Pittsburgh.
Okay. Wait, we play at Pittsburgh next year?
Yep.
Okay, we own them, so we're good.
It's true.
So let's get to the divisional round. Giants, Eagles. Eagles blew them out 38-7. It was a boring game to watch. I didn't even watch half of it. Bengals smacked the Bills across the face 27-10. That one surprised me a little bit. I wasn't surprised that the Bengals won. I was just surprised that the Bills looked so bad. Josh Allen has looked rough recently.
So what's weird is that the Bills are not a team that's built to play where they play. If you think about it, they're not a team that's built to play in the snow. They don't run the ball very well, and they're predicated on down the field passing.
Yeah.
You get playoff games and it's snowing or rainy, it's not going to work.
And Josh Allen, his decision making continues to bite him. Like, he has recently been turning the ball over a lot, and you'll see, like, when you watch the replay, you'll see him go to throw it, want to not throw it, and then still throw it.
Yep. By midpoint next season, people will be saying Trevor Lawrence is better than him.
Oh, for sure, because Josh Allen is no longer widely considered the second best quarterback in the league. Now most people are considering Burrow the second best.
I think Trevor's better than him too.
I think so as well. I think the only player that I will not put Trevor over is Mahomes.
Yep.
Mahomes is just an all-timer. I got so much hate last night because everybody wanted the Bengals to win, and I wanted the Chiefs to win. And
I didn't care.
I mean, I like Mahomes and Kelsey, and I think Mahomes is going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. Well, if he continues at this pace.
I hate them both. Yeah.
But So
I
when
hate. I
I
just hate Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is so fucking cringy.
and he's yeah,
The way he dresses and shit. It's like, dude, come on, bro. Like, you're not that guy. Let's be real.
you're not that guy, pal. You're
Let's
not
be
that
let's,
guy, pal.
let's be real, bro. That ain't you.
It is what it is. I like Mahomes and Kelsey. Did you see what Kelsey said after the win?
What do you say?
He said to the mayor, he said to the Cincinnati mayor,
Oh yeah, I saw
know
that.
know your role, shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Yeah, like he's the Rock.
And then, and then before that, he said, Burrowhead my ass.
Yeah,
I love Kelsey, dog, but
Burrow man.
I think Kelsey. I mean, Mahomes is going to be an all timer for sure.
He won't be the greatest of all time though. That's gonna be Trevor.
Yeah, that's true. He'll be the second greatest of all time.
Nothing wrong with second place.
Do what?
Nothing wrong with second place.
Yeah. What's it called though? Bengals, Bills, and Cowboys, 49ers. Cowboys 49ers game was kind of boring as well. Dak Prescott looked like Dak Prescott. Kellen Moore got fired. Fired, mutually agree, whatever you want to call it. Probably because of that last play where they had Zeke at center.
It's fine. It's kind of dumb though because that play was kind of non-consequential. They were going to win the game.
Yeah, it's funny.
You would. They were going to have to do the hook and laterals, and it wasn't. How often does that work? It's like very rare.
Exactly.
Like 1 in a million.
I just guarantee you that is why he got fired because of how bad that last play was.
He was unemployed for a whole 17 hours.
Yeah, I think it's a good hire for the Chargers.
And now Mike McCarthy says he's going to call plays. Cowboys are taking some L's, bro.
Cowboys are about to finish third in their division next year.
They're going to be begging for it. It'd be funny when Mike McCarthy gets fired and then they hire Kellen Moore as the head coach.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
After he leads Justin Herbert to a 5,000-yard passing season.
Yeah. Brock Purdy looked pretty good, but I think I'm not the biggest Purdy guy. Like, I'm happy that the last guy in the draft is succeeding and all that, but I also think
you're not a Purdy boy.
Nah, I think any competent quarterback you put in that Niner system is going to look fine. I saw a stat that he had the most open target percentage in that stretch that he was playing.
Because it's not really a downfield passing attack. It's really predicated on yak.
They run the ball really well, and they have a ton of yards after catch players. I mean, like I said, he didn't play bad by any means. He just didn't play great. Like, people were putting him over Trevor Lawrence. People were putting him over Jalen Hurts.
That's dumb.
It was just extreme.
If Trevor Lawrence was on the 49ers, they'd probably be playing in Super Bowl.
Oh, if Trevor Lawrence was on any playoff team other than maybe the Giants, they're probably in the Super Bowl.
And us, I guess.
And the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl.
And us, I guess, if they were on, because we didn't make it. But
true. But let's talk about the Chiefs game now. We lost 20-27. We should have won this game. I think we lost the game. Like, Kansas City Chiefs won the game. I'm not discrediting them. They played well.
I am. I'm discrediting them. We should have won that game. We lost. They didn't win the game. We lost the game.
Exactly. That's what exactly. Because Trevor Lawrence, we'll look at his stats. Trevor was 24-39, 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not the greatest stat line.
The interception was
just
honestly, it was a good play by the DB, and he was getting blasted. He was getting blasted when he threw.
I thought it was going to be a completed pass for a second.
So did I, but it was going too slow.
Yeah, it's because he threw it off his back foot because he immediately got a free runner that murdered him. It was unfortunate.
That game was lost on 3 plays. It was the deep drop by Kirk.
Oh, that was the best. That was one
of the best throw he's ever. That was the best throw he's ever made.
It was 60 air yards in the bucket.
The missed interception by Foye Oluokun,
which he should have just let it go to Tyson,
which led to a 98-yard touchdown drive by Chad fucking Henne.
Yeah, when they got a free roughing the passer.
That's how it always happens. When you drop the interception, they're going to score. I always believe that. If we drop a pick, they're going to score. That's how it works. It's karma. And then the Jamal Agnew fumble inside the 5-yard line.
The fumble makes me so sad because Trevor had one of the best. It wasn't even like just. It was just one of the most best plays when you consider that situation.
Momentum.
He had put. We were down by like 7 at that point. Were we down by 7 or 10?
10.
We were down by 10 at that point. There's like 5 minutes left. He puts his body on the line, trucks a defender to get the first down, and then the next play, Agnew has an unforced fumble.
The problem with that is a couple things. One, Kirk got hurt 2 plays prior to that that was supposed to be him.
Yep.
Kirk catches that ball. I don't think he fumbles it.
It might be a touchdown because he had yards. Because
Yes.
Agnew fumbled it in his own hands.
If Agnew would have turned the other way, he probably scores. Going the way he was going, he probably gets tackled at the 1 or 2 yard line. If he goes the other way, he probably scores because it's wide open. He turns the wrong way because I guess his momentum led him that way, I guess, on the catch. But God, I don't know how you go to tuck it and you fumble it.
I know. That play was so
I know it was wet and everything, but man.
That was like the Kirk drop and the dropped interception hurt, but that Agnew fumble is the play that will live in my memory for a long time.
Yeah, that sucked.
Trevor played an amazing game. Trevor, he had maybe you could count on one hand how many true mistakes he had. Like that interception, I'm not going to really fault him.
The interior and it wasn't like he was playing from a clean pocket either, because like the interior O line was getting wrecked.
Yeah, Scherf was hurt the past
Fortner, Sheriff, and Shadley were all getting shit on by Chris Jones,
as we expected.
Yeah, he didn't have any sacks, but I mean, he definitely disrupted a lot. Him and Kalen Saunders.
Then they called that roughing the passer on Chad Henne when they didn't call one on. We didn't lose the game because of refs. It was just an annoying little thing. They did fine Saunders for that.
Yeah, they fined Saunders for his hit on Trevor, but they didn't throw a penalty or a flag in the game. Make it make sense. That's basically admitting, hey, we fucked up.
I would have been fine with neither of them getting a flag thrown.
Yeah.
But is what it is. Like Kevin Durant was it that was saying it's just because we ain't been there before, and I'm like, that's fair. I think next year is going to be an absolute movie though, because
if Calvin Ridley's back to his 2020 self or 2021 self,
and then the draft, because I trust Balky with the draft and free agency. I don't know if we're going to go crazy.
As long as he doesn't swing on any projects in the first round anymore.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Trayvon's going to be a baller next year.
I think Trayvon's going to be good, and everybody's like, my biggest problem with Trayvon, it's not him, it's people talking about him. They're like, oh, Aiden Hutchinson doesn't do what he did in the Titans game. Aiden Hutchinson was a good run defender coming into the league. Let's keep it a band. But it's whatever. It's whatever. I hate how people have to shit on somebody to prop up another person. Like, you don't have to do that.
The player I will shit on is Kayvon Thibodeau, but
that's because he's a piece of shit. But that's
exactly. But next year is going to be so fun because if our linebackers develop, because they're both rookies,
I hope one of them develops.
You can only expect so much. We really need them to develop. We got two of them, so one of them has to be half decent, right?
Yeah, I have more faith in Chad Muma developing right now than I do Devin Lloyd. But
I think they should use Devin Lloyd. I don't think they should. They should develop Muma as the more middle linebacker, and they should try and let Lloyd, be like, you know how we used Miles Jack.
Yeah, Lloyd should be a Sam linebacker in a 4-3 scheme. A guy who covers occasionally but blitzes a lot.
Exactly. And let Muma, because Muma's pretty good in coverage.
Don't think, just run and chase.
Exactly. Muma's the better thinker. He did fuck up plenty of times because he was a rookie. I trust that they're both going to develop, but I guarantee you, at least one's got to develop.
Muma's problem was his play strength. I think once he gets in the weight room,
he got bit a lot.
He had a lot of problems finishing tackles.
It got better throughout the season though, because I will say,
but he almost lost us. He did almost lose us that Titans game.
He did. You're right.
Because it was a 3rd and 5, and a 4th and 5. And they threw it short of the sticks, and he had to tackle for
and they
stop, and then the guy powered through for another.
It was Okoronkwo.
Was it?
Yep, the tight end.
I thought it was a running back.
No.
I can't remember. Either way, he should have cleaned it up.
And he just got at least it wasn't preseason level. I remember in the preseason he literally just bounced off everybody.
He was getting pancaked.
But if our linebackers develop, that'll be huge. I think Trayvon's going to develop because I think Trayvon's going to be used better.
I think he's just so physically gifted that it's like he's going to at least be a good player always.
For sure. And Mike called Trayvon in that, like you said, people were shitting on Aiden, but I will still credit Trayvon for how he played in that Tennessee game, especially against Henry, just beating the tackles on the edge, tackling him for a loss. Like I have faith in him.
I was like, being a 270-pound ass better be able to tackle him.
Exactly. Exactly. And then yeah, adding Ridley, hopefully re-signing pretty much everybody. Hopefully draft well, because I trust us in the draft. Plus, there's plenty of good players in the draft. Next year is going to be a movie.
Yep,
But
we got the quarterback and the head coach. That's the hardest things to get, and we got them. So
yep, this game is still really, really sad that it had to happen, but it happened. The Jags carried the playoffs because most of the playoff games were actually pretty boring.
Yep.
Including the NFC championship game. Eagles blew the 49ers out because the 49ers had Brock Purdy get hurt and then Josh Johnson got hurt. So they had Purdy out there unable to physically throw the ball.
Handing the ball off on 3rd and 5 down by 21 points.
Handing the ball off on 4th down as well. Like,
yeah, ridiculous.
It became Army Navy, like literally.
I was like, you have Jawan Jennings, who was a top 5 dual threat quarterback recruit. Why not let him play? He could probably at least throw the ball. Like Purdy couldn't throw it.
Or let Christian McCaffrey throw the ball at least. Like let somebody.
It's like somebody on the team knows how to throw a damn football.
Or at least run Wildcat and have a threat of some of the ball carrier running it.
They knew what you were doing every time, handing the ball off or a screen.
Exactly. And they tried to do this creative stuff by like pitching it and going out wide, this and that. They never fell for it because they knew you were going to run it one way or another.
Yep.
The Bengals Chiefs AFC Championship game was amazing. Chiefs won. People blame the refs. Refs were equally bad in my opinion. It was still a good game.
I didn't watch. I only watched like the first half.
Then the Super Bowl. We'll go ahead and predict this quickly. Chiefs, Eagles. I got the Eagles winning by 10.
I'll say Eagles by 7.
I think the Eagles roster is just so well built that
no one can stop them from running the football.
Nobody can stop them from running the ball because they have the best offensive. Literally, think about this. They have the best offensive line in football. They have a top 5 receiving group in football. They have a top 5 defense in football.
They have probably the best front 7 in football. Don't they have like 70 sacks?
Yeah, they led the league in sacks.
Best front 7 in football.
Hassan Reddick is amazing. They're like Georgia in a sense. They have
so many Hassan Reddick, you got Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave. Then they get tired. You bring in Ndamukong Suh. It's like
Jordan Davis hurt?
I'm not sure.
I think Jordan Davis got hurt at some point, but still, they have Jordan Davis in a sense.
And they got the other guy too. He's not as good. Derek Barnett. He's all okay.
And they have Linval Joseph, who's old, but he's not terrible.
Yeah, and their secondary is good too.
Yeah, they got Bradbury. They got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who, if we do pursue a free agent, I would love to have C.J. Gardner-Johnson or Javon Hargrave. Those are the only 2 free agents that I would actually really target, but I don't really care if we don't get them. It's just fun to think about.
Yeah.
But the Eagles do have a ton of free agents. We're not an Eagles podcast, so if you guys want to figure about that, go look at it. But they have a ton of starters as free agents. So if they don't win the Super Bowl, they might be in a tough spot. But I think they're going to win it. Sirianni is also literally the most Philly coach ever.
Yeah.
Dude is talking so much shit on the sideline. But yeah, that is the playoffs. Jags will be back next year, and I am very confident in that. Let's talk about the college football playoffs. Just quickly. Michigan, TCU.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay,
I don't want to talk about it.
Georgia, Ohio State was an incredible game. Literally,
I'm really glad that guy missed.
As New Year's, literally, there's edits of the ball dropping in New York right next to when that kick went, literally side by side. I was devastated because I did not want. Obviously, you're the Michigan fan, so you wanted Ohio State to kick rocks.
I was so happy he missed. You have no idea.
I was so sad he missed. I was like, no, because I wanted Georgia to kick rocks.
I still don't understand. I'll still never understand how the hell we lost to TCU.
You guys beat yourselves. It was that simple.
I just don't get it.
You guys fired your offensive coordinator, right?
Well, he got in trouble.
Oh, okay. Well, you should have been fired regardless for, like you said, that Philly special in the first quarter.
So stupid.
So then got the
the miss, the non-touchdown, and then the fumble in the next play. I just
it was
I was so mad.
I remember I was mad watching it because I was like rooting for Michigan because we have that mutual agreement. I root for Michigan, you root for the Gators. I was like,
really upsetting, but
it happens. Then
Blake Corum's coming back next year.
That is sick. Best running back room in football. Second is Florida, but anyways,
it's neither here nor there.
Hey, I will say you guys definitely have number 1, but I think we have number 2. Then we got the Natty, the worst Natty I think ever. TCU
God, probably yeah.
Georgia. I wasn't watching the game for
Neither.
unforeseen circumstances. Not going to go into that, but I didn't watch the game, and I go. At one point, I hear my roommate talking about it outside the room. I check my phone. I'm like, okay, let me see what the score was. I have text messages. I have a text from my mom. It was multiple things, and at the end of it, it was, "Damn, Georgia's killing TCU." I'm like, oh god. And then I get a text from my aunt, who's a Georgia fan, saying, "How about my dogs back to back?" I'm like, oh god, here we
Yeah,
go.
I didn't watch it. I ain't gonna lie.
And I know I did. I watched maybe 2 drives of it,
It's
and then
similar to the playoffs. Like once the Jaguars lost, I haven't really watched much of the playoff games.
fair enough. But then I checked the score, and I was like 62-7. I was like, is this real? Is this what? I was like, what did I just look at? Worst natty ever, especially because Georgia had to win it. It is what it is.
Can't wait for them to extend it out. 12 teams, baby.
The Gators are going to the playoffs, baby. Let's go. Not this year. I'm just talking about in the future.
Maybe with what's his name at quarterback?
Graham
Mertz. Graham Mertz, the legend.
Okay. I mean, it's crazy that Sean has pushed more Mertz propaganda into the group chat than I have, but
I just remember he had that crazy ass like first career start or some shit, and it was like,
yeah, he had some good
yo,
games.
This guy's the truth, man. Future number 1 draft pick, and then he sucked.
He just he was in a terrible system. I'm not counting on him to be good. We just need him to be a game manager.
What receiver ever came from Wisconsin, bro?
Exactly, and their coach got fired because his system was terrible. So I'm going to give Mertz a chance. I just don't expect much. He just needs to be a game manager. We have a great offensive line and a great run game.
Feed ETN, bro.
Literally just be Cade McNamara.
Feed ETN, bro.
Feed ETN and feed Montrell. Like, that's all you got to do.
Literally it.
It is what it is, but the Natty sucked. Hopefully next year is more fun. Hopefully the Gators are in it, but
hopefully we beat Ohio State again.
Yeah, Ohio State fans have been talking a lot of smack for a team that should not have been in the playoffs.
Agree.
Like, people are gonna say this and that. If you think Alabama should not have been in the playoffs, then I don't think Ohio State should have been in the playoffs. They didn't make it to their championship game.
The only difference is that Alabama lost 2 games.
Bama lost 2 games against
Ohio State and lost 1.
And their 2 losses were by like a touchdown or 2 less than Ohio State's 1 loss.
Yeah, we blew the doors off them boys, didn't we?
You blew them out by 3 touchdowns, while Bama lost by like 4 combined
with no quorum
against Tennessee, and who is the other loss? Tennessee and LSU, and they both were top 10 teams.
Yeah.
So I feel like Alabama would have been better than TCU, but here nor there. Whatever. It is.
Once they push it to 12 teams, it won't matter anymore.
Yeah, then it'll be pretty good.
Then Bama will be in it every year.
And Bama will be cooking every year.
Unfortunately.
Nonetheless.
Need Nick Saban to retire or something else, but
hey, calm down there, bud. You know, I did see a stat. I don't know if
I meant go to jail. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Sure. I saw a stat. I don't know how happy this one's gonna make you, but like 17 out of the last like 20 national championships all came from the South.
I saw that too, yeah. I know.
Like the one non-example was Ohio.
I mean, it's State. No secret that the SEC is habitually the best because they always get the best players.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Just think about this. The Gators have 5 offensive linemen who are 6'8".
They need to stop giving the Joe Moore award to Michigan because every time we get to the playoffs, our O-line gets shit on.
Yeah, you guys have
best O-line unit in football 2 years in a row, and then as soon as you get to the playoffs, shit on.
Because you play these SEC teams that have machines at defensive line.
It's hard to play a damn defensive end who runs a 4.5 at 6'5", 280. Like, what the hell?
Or you got Gators got a friggin' 6'5", 400-pound defensive tackle.
No, what are we supposed to do with that? It's just crazy, though, because like I feel like statistically, when it comes to the NFL, a lot of the best O-linemen come from the Big Ten.
I guess when they're individually.
Yeah, because that's the thing, though. Like, there's like only one guy on Michigan's O-line who will get drafted. That's the center. Yeah.
He's in this year's draft class, right?
Yeah, he's going to get drafted. He's probably he'll be like a 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah, he's probably the 2nd or 3rd best center in the class.
I think he's the 2nd best. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Minnesota center is best, but
either way,
nor here nor there.
We'll get to more
drafts
draft
in the
talk
ensuing episodes.
later. Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk some Jags. So as a season as a whole, we finished 9-8. We had a winning record. We made the playoffs, won the division, and fell in the divisional round. I
It
don't
was
think you could
probably the
ask.
most fun I've ever had watching the Jaguars.
Me too. I don't think you could
But
ask
it's
for
kind of hard though,
more.
because like 2017 was fun, but like I don't know, it's something about seeing Trevor Cook just made it.
I'm an offensive guy, so I can definitely second that.
I like both equally, but it's something about seeing, like, finally realizing you got a franchise quarterback just made it so much more fun and more enjoyable.
I remember at the beginning of the year when people were saying he was a bust. I remember, not to call you out, but I even remember you saying, I've hit a point where I think he can be good with great games, but I don't think he can be elite. And he told you to shut your ass
I
up.
don't remember saying that. You got proof?
Okay.
I don't remember saying that.
I can scroll, buddy. I'm just kidding.
Things I say during games don't count.
That's fair. I
Those are
respect
off
that.
limits. I'll call everybody. I'll call fucking Tom Brady a goddamn bust. If he's fucking sucking dick in a game, I don't care.
That's fair. I respect that. But there were some people who genuinely believed he was a bust, and if you argued he was,
he's never going to be a damn bust.
Exactly. Like there were some people saying that I was coping for saying that. Like they acted like he showed no promise in those games. Like yes,
dude was throwing to the fucking janitor at Publix last year at receiver. Like, what do you want to do?
Exactly. And at the beginning of the year, he was struggling, but he was adjusting to Doug's system. He still had plenty of good plays. He just had plenty of bad plays too, and he fixed those bad plays, and now he's top 5 in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just
he's definitely top 5, and he ain't number 5.
Exactly. If I were to just off the dome, if I were to rank them,
Mahomes, Burrow, Lawrence. That's me.
I'd agree with how Josh Allen's played recently. That's what I would say.
And him and Allen, you could coin flip, and he's better than Herbert in my opinion. And I'm probably one of the biggest Herbert guys there is.
Yeah, you were a Herbert fan in the draft. You wanted the Jags to draft Herbert.
I did. I thought I if they did, we would probably have been good. Still.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We would have been good earlier.
And we would never have had Urban Meyer, so.
We'd probably not. We still have Baloney Maroney.
The guy who kneels it out with 1.5 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
But it's just funny how things have happened. Some injuries from the season. Ben Barch was out most of the season. Him coming back next year is actually an underrated thing.
He actually got bitched versus Washington, but he played good after that.
Yeah, he had a rough first game, and I like Shatley. I think Shatley is a better center than he is a guard, and I think Barch is a solid guard. So I'm excited to get Barch back.
Well, he's just more longer than Shatley's. He's really compact.
Shatley's got the center size, and
it's like 6'3", 300 pounds, and like Shatley's like what 6'6".
Yeah, exactly. So unless we draft Osiris Torrance, which again we'll be talking.
I would love, but I don't think they will. But
I don't either. But
I would love it. I would be doing backflips. I can't do backflips.
Yeah, unless we draft Osiris Torrance, having Ben Barch back is still an upgrade in my opinion. Then Dwayne Smoot,
contract year, baby. Our linemen love doing great in contract years.
They really do. Smoot had an injury against the Jets. He's probably not going to come back next year. Smoot.
I don't think they'll resign him unless he takes a team-friendly deal.
A team-friendly. Bulk is known for giving these disrespectful ass deals to injured players, so I wouldn't be surprised if.
If he wants to take it and prove it one more time.
Yeah, Smoot. We all love Smoot. He had a great year until he got hurt.
If we had Smoot, boy, maybe we got pressure on injured Mahomes. Maybe.
And then oh my gosh, dude, it was so sad. And then that hype video with Smoot was sick.
Yeah.
It was really sad to see him get hurt. Shaq Griffin got hurt. Shaq Griffin's gonna get cut. I've never seen a more universal cap casualty than Shaq Griffin. Like everybody universally.
I just don't get what happened to him. I think his injury is bullshit because like he played the final snap versus the Colts because he got torched by Alec Pierce. He was on the field afterwards looking fine. In the locker room looking fine. All of a sudden, his back hurts.
And then he wasn't around the team.
Heard that one before.
He wasn't around the team. He wasn't around the team at all during our big win streak in playoffs.
Yeah,
he wasn't around the team at all.
Like, yeah. And then he said, and then I saw the article I think Demetrius had that he doesn't know what his future holds and he hopes to be back. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're gone, bro.
He's just saying that because that's what they're supposed to say.
I know. I just wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have taken an interview.
And Smoot was around the team when we were making our run.
Speaking of which, if we would Alec Pierce called that, we should have drafted him.
Oh yeah,
Khalil Shakur. I know his season stats weren't that great, but he balled out in some of the playoff games. So call that one.
he balled out when given reps. He just really wasn't given many
If we
reps.
would have took Alec Pierce, I know draft talk is relatable. If we would have took Alec Pierce, we wouldn't be looking for another bigger outside receiver like we're going
You
to
know,
be.
you know what I hate? When people make the argument that somebody's not good because they don't play as much. It's not their choice.
Yeah, Khalil
Trust
Shakur is like the fourth receiver,
exactly.
fifth receiver.
He's like fifth receiver, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like,
Even though he plays like their third best.
but when he got in, he was balling.
Exactly. It's stop trusting coaching decisions and use your own eyes. This is me directly talking about something that Sean knows, but I will not mention it. Use your own eyes and watch what you see. You don't have to trust coaching decisions. Coaches get fired for a reason.
You talking about Kyle Trask?
Yes. Coaches get fired for a reason. Quit. Byron Leftwich got fired. Okay. Are we trusting his decisions now? Anyways. Cam Robinson also had a season-ending injury, which honestly I think helped us.
I'm not gonna say that.
I like how Little played at left tackle.
I like how he played too. I don't know that it was actually better than Cam, or if we just want it to be, so we're making ourselves think it was. Because Cam really didn't play that bad.
Did you see Little's game against the Chargers though? Not a single pressure.
Yeah, he was elite in that game. So I mean,
I personally,
I really do wish we didn't pay Cam now.
Because I wish we could have Juwan Taylor for sure re-signed and have Little as the left tackle.
I almost wish we just would have had Cam play on the tag again.
Do what?
I wish at worst we would have just had Cam play on the tag again. Because then he'd be gone next year.
Exactly. Maybe Bulky can figure something out because, like you always say, there's a ton of bad tackle player on the league. Maybe somebody will be willing to send like a late pick for him.
I just don't know because
the contract's a lot. But
if can they do that? Like, can you take the contract and absolve us from any dead cap hit?
I'm pretty sure you can. Just teams don't generally agree to it.
Yeah, because that's ridiculous. Because his dead cap, I think, is like 20-something million.
We might have to send a pick if we want to get rid of it all.
I just think they need to figure it out.
Exactly.
Shuffle it up. See if somebody will play guard.
Because I don't want Little to play right. I think Little is a better left tackle than he's a right tackle.
I mean, we have an out in the Cam deal after next season. And worst comes to worst, he might just be riding the pine at 20 million if he gets beat out.
That's fair.
Which is it's not ideal, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
And the more I think about it, the more I do want Juwan Taylor to come back because he played well, man.
We saw this year though how important it was to have a good third tackle.
Exactly.
So even if he is riding the pine for the year, if somebody gets hurt, he'll step in.
Yeah, we'll talk more about free agents and all that stuff later, but I would like to bring Juwan Taylor back personally. It's funny though. For 2 years, we've had people complaining about him and his false starts. They aren't false starts.
And then Duke Manyweather puts out a video.
Yeah, you're allowed to move your right foot back. Which, I mean, props to Juwan Taylor for having
He's just elite at timing the snap.
He times the snap, and
it's the same reason why sometimes it looks like edges are offsides, but they're just timing the snap really well.
Exactly. And Lane Johnson, people in the Eagles game were saying Lane Johnson was false.
He did that one that somebody had the video where they slowed it down. He was false. He false started.
But still, generally, most of these false
he moved his back, he moved his right leg and his left leg, and then the ball snapped.
I did not see that. But
nah, dog, you false started.
There's still plenty of them that are not false starts that people think are false starts. Like, people have harped at Juwan Taylor for 2 years. It ain't a false start. Anyways, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Like I said, we'll talk about free agents in coming episodes. Now, Calvin Ridley, we mentioned him multiple times. Let's talk about the deal specifically because I think we traded for him after we stopped doing our podcasts.
Yeah, because we didn't do our podcast all season pretty much.
Yeah, we did the beginning of the season and disappeared out of nowhere.
I didn't know if we even did the beginning of the season because I don't even remember doing it after we won those games. Week 2 and 3.
We had some predictions. It was literally just the first like 2 or 3 weeks.
Maybe.
But anyways, this is the deal. The Jags get wide receiver Calvin Ridley. The Falcons get a 2023 5th-round pick and a conditional 2024 4th-round pick that can rise on these conditions. I love the way Bulky did this trade.
He's a genius.
These conditions are attached to the trade for Calvin Ridley. If he's reinstated by a certain date, it's worth a 2023 5th. So if he's able to play this coming season, it's a 5th. Otherwise, it's a 6. If he makes the team in 2024, it's a 4. And if it's a play milestone, a playtime milestone, so if he plays a ton, it's a 3rd. And then if we re-sign him to a long-term deal, it's a 2. So at worst,
it's a great deal.
If he balls out for us, it's a 2nd and a 5th. If he does nothing, it's a 2nd and a 6th.
I think if he doesn't get reinstated, it's just a 6th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he does not get reinstated, it's a 6th.
You said a 2nd and a 6th.
I meant 5th and 6th.
I think it's literally just a 6th.
The Falcons get a 2023 5th round pick and a conditional 2024 4th.
Oh, I thought it was something in there that if you didn't get reinstated, it would just be the 6th round and that's it.
I don't.
Maybe not. I don't know.
But nonetheless, it's a fantastically worded deal.
Either way, yeah. If he doesn't get you're out 2 late round picks.
Because if he balls a 2nd round pick and a 5th round pick,
that's where I'll give that. I'll give that up all day for a number 1 receiver.
Exactly. And Calvin Ridley, I love how he's been tweeting about the Jags the whole process. Like,
yeah.
What could you ask for? What more could you?
He's gonna open up. He's gonna open it up a lot for Kirk too.
Yes, because Kirk is gonna actually be able to just work as a normal slot receiver rather than have to be a proper wide receiver 1 and a slot.
Yeah.
And Zay Jones played a hell of a year as well, having him as a wide receiver.
Minus the 14 drops, but yeah.
Yeah, it felt like half those drops came in 2 games.
Yeah, the Detroit game, he had like 5.
Yeah, he had like he either catches everything or drops everything.
There's no in between.
There's literally no in between. All his drops are in like 2 or 3 games. But amazing deal. I'm excited to have Calvin Ridley. It feels nice knowing that we probably have our wide receiver 1 for once. Also, I love that every single one of our free agents had a career year. Evan Ingram balled out. We need to bring him back. Evan Ingram is like a fan favorite. He's second on my. If we re-sign him, I want a Tyson Campbell jersey first, and then I'd want an Evan Ingram jersey. Then we got Zay Jones had a career year. Zay Jones was amazing. Christian Kirk had a career year. Told people to shove it.
Brendan Sheriff kind of flopped because he's hurt a lot.
He was good most of the year, and then towards the end of the year, rather than being out with injury, he played with injury, and it showed.
Pretty much because we had nobody else, that would have been better.
Yeah. It was really painful, though, watching him get annihilated by Jeffrey Simmons 100 times in a row. Jeffrey Simmons is elite, though, but still. Anyways, is what it is, exactly. Now, that's pretty much. I mean, what else happened this season? Is there anything else major to talk about from this season?
Doug Peterson might win Coach of the Year.
He should win Coach of the Year. He might not because they might dick ride Dable, but. Am I wrong?
No.
Like, I'm going to list out you agree with me, but I'm going to list out this argument for anybody who's not a Jags fan. 2 teams had 0 Pro Bowlers. I know Jamal Agnew is going to the Pro Bowl, but it's because 100 different people had to get hurt. Shut up. Jags had 0 Pro Bowlers and I believe 0 initial, because Jamal Agnew was not the first alternate. He was like the 2nd or 3rd alternate. Trevor Lawrence was behind Tyler Huntley in Pro Bowl voting, by the way.
Ravens got a lot of fans, bro. That has to be it.
My roommate, who's a Ravens fan, is like, what the hell?
Because Agnew is only going because Devin Duvernay.
Exactly.
Duvernay is not a better returner than him.
Agnew is the best returner in the league.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, they have a lot of fans, bro.
It's unbelievable. But the Jags had 0 Pro Bowlers. Only one other team had that. And guess where they're picking?
Number 2, right? Number 1.
Number 1. The worst team in the league.
The Bears. Yeah.
Then let's talk about this. The Jags had the number 1 overall pick 2 years in a row. Who else had that? Nobody.
The Browns.
Exactly. And what the Browns.
They didn't do shit, really.
Exactly. Then what else? Oh, yeah. We won our division.
We're the only team that had back-to-back number 1s and they made the playoffs or won the division or whatever. Or hosted a playoff game.
Only team ever.
Or won a playoff game. Maybe that's what it was. Won a playoff
Only
game.
team ever.
Yeah.
And
Dougie P, baby. Dougie P.
We won the same amount of games as the Giants. We won our division. They didn't win their division.
I mean, that's
here nor there. Still, but they
have the Eagles and the Cowboys in their division. We have dog shit, but yeah.
I don't think there's an argument for Dable, personally.
It should be Doug Peterson, but we'll see.
It should be. Watch them give it to Shanahan instead.
And then next year, Trevor Lawrence, MVP.
Oh, 100. My season predictions won't come out for another like 8 months, but I'm predicting the Jags to win the Super Bowl.
I don't know if I'm there yet. I got to see what we do in free agency in the draft. See what we lose.
I have faith in Bulky.
Oh yeah, me too. I just want to see though before I
I
commit. I'm not gonna lock
I
it just yet.
I ain't gonna lie.
Definitely
Bulky
winning the
should win.
division.
Bulky should win
Executive of the year.
executive of the year. Like, think about it. Every one of our free agents had a career year. Is that not a dead ass an argument for
That and like I said,
him or Howie
like you said,
Roseman?
from worst to first, and then also he survived the clown game, bro.
Exactly. Like, he's not even a finalist. He's probably got no votes because it's Trent Baalke and nobody likes Trent Baalke.
People hate him. I heard like people hate him in the league.
People still hate him, even though Jags fans all love him now.
Not all of them, but
yeah, some fans refuse.
I still see the occasional clown fucking avatar on Twitter.
Some people refuse to just admit they were wrong.
They're like, oh, I got to see it one more year, one more offseason, then maybe I'll come around.
What made me just come around and give him another chance was when I saw him do things that he's never done before. Trade up like in the draft, spend money. When he started doing that,
the Calvin Ridley trade was so fucking big brain, bro.
Exactly.
Especially considering how like the free agent wide receiver crop is trash, and the draft, while kind of deep-ish, isn't really heavy.
Exactly. Like
there's good prospects. There's not really great prospects.
And I like Quentin Johnston, but I'm so glad we don't have to get him mocked to us every single time.
I kind of soured him a little bit, man.
I have too.
He drops the ball a lot.
He used to be my wide receiver 1 and a top 10 prospect. He's now my wide receiver 2 and like a top 20 prospect. Maybe.
Who's number 1? Addison?
Yeah.
He's fast as fuck, man.
Addison. My issue with Addison is that
Addison reminds me of Calvin Ridley.
Addison, he just disappeared against some top corners a couple times. But I don't think any wide receiver is a guaranteed top 15 pick, personally. I think what's it called? Dane Brugler said the same.
Yeah, probably.
But nonetheless, the wide receiver has good depth, but it's not like there's no Jamar.
There's no Calvin Ridley.
There's no Marvin Harrison Jr. The Bears are going to get him next year. But
I really hope that like AFC South is a little bit better, so that they're not. I don't want nobody picking top 5 and getting his ass, bro. I don't want to have to cover him.
I think the Bears are going to get him. I just have that feeling, but
yeah, if they're picking top 5 again, dude, they're going to fire Eberflus.
The Bears, well, they might trade down from number 1 with Colts, Texans, bad team.
Man, they might because they might use their, I don't know.
They might have 2 top 10 picks. If they want to get Harrison, they could trade up for him anyways.
Maybe. I just don't know that they'll trade. I don't know that the Colts or Texans will trade an additional first to move up.
I don't know. When you're desperate for a quarterback, you're desperate for a quarterback. But anyways, let's go ahead and do our question segment. First time in a while. We only have 2. Awesome. First one's from Gordo. What are your projected free agent signings or one trade you would like to see? We're going to talk about this more as the offseason goes, but just off the top of my head.
I got to see who hits free agency.
Exactly. First. The only 2 free agents I would truly target if they hit free agency would be CJ Gardner-Johnson because he could play nickel at an elite level, and he's a former Gator, of course, or Javon Hargrave because he's an amazing pass rushing defensive tackle.
See, I don't think we're going to spend enough money to get either of those guys, so I think we'll probably look at budget guys that are familiar with Doug. No, not even depth, really. That are just familiar with Doug Peterson. Like if you can get a Fletcher Cox or a Brandon Graham, an older guy who can still produce. We don't know. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I got to see who hits there. So
was
far,
Javon Hargrave there when Doug was there?
I don't know. How long has he been there?
Let me look.
But I'm saying like Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox both have history with him, and they both play positions that we need to fortify.
Javon Hargrave is a stud. He's been one of my favorite defensive tackles in the league for a long time. Kind of like when I wanted Foye Oluokun. That's how I feel about Javon Hargrave.
He's just gonna cost money, man.
He's 29 now.
Yeah, but he has had a career year.
True. He had 11 sacks, 1 forced fumble. He's only I just realized he's a short defensive tackle. He's only 6'2".
Yeah, he's not ball. He doesn't have the bulky body.
Elijah can't see.
He doesn't have the bulky body either.
Fuck bulky.
Whoa.
What year? Oh, okay, never mind. Was Doug there in 2020?
No. Yes.
Yes, because 2020.
Yeah, he only took 1 year off, so yeah, he was there.
Yeah, so Doug's last year with Philly was the only year he had Javon Hargrave. He was because Hargrave was with Pittsburgh for his first 4 years. I still would like those two if we do go for anybody major.
I just
But
don't think we're going to. I almost don't think we're going to spin like that.
exactly, I think it's just bring back our guys. Which honestly, I respect it. It's nice to have that.
It's finally, yeah. We've never had guys to bring back.
Off the top of my head, without in-depth reasoning, I want to bring back Ingram. I want to bring back Taylor. I want to bring back Wingard, and
Key.
and Arden Key. I don't remember who the fuck else is a free agent off the top of my head. Those are my main four guys.
Nobody of consequence, probably.
Probably. Oh, I'd also bring back Riley Patterson because I think he earns another year.
I'd bring him back. I'd also probably bring in competition still.
Oh yeah, always bring in competition, but
yep,
he should be back.
All right, second question.
Second question is from, you can guess who?
Patrick.
Patrick. Yep. Another free agency question. God damn it. Imminent free agency retention priorities. We just talked about that. Draft positional priorities.
Nickel
defensive tackle.
Edge. 3-tech.
Guard. Well, there's not a ton of good guards. It's Osiris Torrance and everybody else, pretty much.
I'd say, nickel, edge, 3-tech, depth for boundary corner, because that's trash.
Brian Branch is my guy, bro.
Maybe wide receiver if you want to bring another one in. Tight end is definitely going to be a priority because even if you do bring back Ingram, you only got 2 on the roster.
Darnell Washington would be sick.
I'd even contemplate another running back just because Hasty's probably a free agent and they didn't really utilize.
Charbonnet!
I'm not taking a running back in the second round.
I'm not either. Zach Charbonnet is 100% going in the second round.
Kendre Miller.
Kendre Miller is really underrated. So if he's there, hell yeah.
5th round. Well, I've seen him mocked in the 5th round. Before.
I'd take Kenny McIntosh in the 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Because I think he could be our Jarek McKinnon.
Yep.
A fine runner, not an amazing runner, but a fine runner who's a amazing receiving back.
I really wanted Blake Coleman, man, but he went back to school, so it's whatever.
That's
pretty much it.
Were you gonna try and take I guess because if he's hurt, then that would make him fall a little bit, and the Jags have a better chance of getting him.
Who?
Corum. I was just
I thought you would have been like a 3rd or 4th round pick probably because of the injury.
Yeah, I had him as RB3, 2 or 3. No, 3 because I had Charbonnet as RB2.
Chase Brown, though, sleeper out of Illinois.
I'm not sure where I have him ranked. We'll talk about that.
I want to see what he runs in the 40.
I plan for the podcast. We're going to have a draft segment every week, and I plan on doing a different position every week, and then like our guys and all that stuff. So we'll get to running backs eventually.
Sounds good.
I saw a tweet. Somebody said Isaiah Pacheco and Damian Pierce are prime examples of why you should draft running backs who run like they're pissed the fuck off. And then he said, draft Charbonnet, draft Chase Brown.
Chase Brown's good, bro.
I need to watch more.
He was cooking Michigan, bro. I thought we were going to lose because of him.
Damn.
He had a long run. So I'm curious when he runs on the 40 because he had a long run.
Yeah, it happens.
All right, though.
And the last part of Patrick's question is, plus, how long will it take the Titans, Colts, and Texans to rebuild to the point where they threaten for the divisional win? I think the Titans and Colts are the least of my worries because the Titans have no quarterback. Their entire team is based off an aging running back, so not particularly worried about them. The Colts...
I think the Colts can still be good if they get a good quarterback.
I think the Colts are fucking trash because they're going to keep Jeff Saturday.
No, we'll see.
And no way. I don't get this. How can you blow the biggest lead ever, lose to the worst or one of the worst teams in the league, and somehow get to keep your job?
Well, we don't know that yet.
Why would they fire Frank Reich if they're going to keep Jeff Saturday for his performance? I don't know.
We don't know that they are going to do that.
Texans could be something if they hire DeMeco Ryans and draft like Bryce Young or something.
None of the quarterbacks scare me, not even Bryce Young.
They don't scare me to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, we're so.
We have Trevor Lawrence, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. I think they can be good, but I'm not like terrified. Like they're not
gone.
Trevor Lawrence type
are the days where I give a shit about who the other teams draft because like
I do not want any of the other teams to draft Anthony Richardson though, because that will just make me sad as fuck. If he does go to the Colts, I think he'll suck. Unfortunately, that's unfortunate, but also not unfortunate for us. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It feels good to be back. Hopefully next week Sean's feeling better. Next week we're going to start a draft segment. All that fun stuff. But hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to stick around. Follow us on Twitter. Sean's Twitter. My Twitter. Follow the podcast Twitter as well. Do all that stuff. And yeah, make sure to subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.